Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to UX, and this is US used the Discombobulator to capture Nicolás Maduro's secret weapon explained. Yet the sonic weapon, apparently Trump coined it Discombobulator. Why isn't it just sonic weapon? Is there more to it? I couldn't find that many videos, so this is a video. This is the channel called the Navy channel. Check out the original video page link from there. Check it out. And yeah, let's watch this one.
The Discombobulator. That's how Donald Trump described it. No technical details, no specifications, just a name and a warning. I'm not allowed to talk about it. But that single sentence raised a question that still echoes today. What kind of weapon can disable an entire military without firing a single visible shot? In this video, we walk through Operation Absolute Resolve, from the moment the first aircraft left their bases to the exact minute Nicolás Maduro was captured inside one of the most fortified military complexes in Latin America. And when the moment comes, you'll hear it clearly. This is when the Discombobulator enters the story. Shortly after 1 in the morning, more than 150 U.S. aircraft lifted off from around 20 different bases, both on land and at sea. Fighter jets, bombers, drones, early warning planes, and heavy transport helicopters all moved into position.
Just say Chinook.
This wasn't a single strike. It was a coordinated aerial campaign designed to open a corridor into the heart of Caracas. Around 1:30 a.m., the first visible signs of the operation appeared. Explosions were reported at multiple military sites across Venezuela, including strategic airfields and locations believed to host surface-to-air missile systems. These attacks weren't meant to flatten targets. They were designed to overwhelm radar, communications, and air defenses just enough to create confusion, and that's where things start to feel unusual. Venezuelan defense systems didn't simply shut down, they behaved unpredictably. Radar coverage became inconsistent. Communications were unreliable. Missile systems struggled to lock onto targets. Operators later...
Isn't that the Growler though? The Growler's the Phantom, radar Phantom ability. I guess is are they counting this Combobulator as like a series of different weapons as one? Maybe they use some kind of a sonic weapon that like confused and like bled people from the nose, like how one soldiers explain, right? Why would he lie? He's the opposing side, so that clearly happened. And the Growler thing that just confuses radar and everything as a host of, like how Aegis system is. Aegis system is not one thing; it's like a series of things.
Described confusion, hesitation, and delays at moments when response should have been automatic. Trump would later sum it up bluntly. Their equipment didn't work. By around 1:58 a.m., the operation entered its most dangerous phase. 2 MH-47 Chinook helicopters, large, slow, and highly vulnerable, were seen flying low through a valley toward Fort Tiuna. These are not stealth aircraft. They are massive transport helicopters built to carry troops, not to evade fire. At this stage, any fully functioning air defense system should have made their approach nearly impossible. Helicopters at low altitude are easy targets. Every pilot involved would have known that. Every planner would have understood the risk. Just after 2 o'clock in the morning, at approximately 2:01 a.m., U.S. forces reached the Fort Tiuna compound itself. Black Hawk helicopters circled overhead, providing cover, while the Chinooks descended.
Yeah, that's Black Hawk, by the way, the image of hellfire. That's the only thing I can say, right? Because that's the clip where you just see continuous barrage of just missiles just keep firing. Woof, 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 woof. Even video games doesn't let you do it. Oh, there is a cooldown time. You can't shoot missiles one after another. Yeah, US military did not get that memo because that shit was insane. That clip of just like bam, 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 bam. Black Hawk is like terrifying.
Directly into the complex. This is the exact moment when, under normal circumstances, Defenses should have erupted. Missile launches, heavy machine gun fire, a chaotic and deadly engagement filling the night sky. But that didn't happen the way it should have. This is where Trump's comment about the discombobulator suddenly makes sense. According to his account, this was the phase where the secret weapon mattered most. Venezuelan forces attempted to respond, but systems failed to fire properly. Weapons didn't behave as expected, and coordination collapsed at precisely the worst moment. The defenses weren't destroyed, they were neutralized, whether through electromagnetic effects, sensory disruption, interference with guidance systems, or something entirely new.
See, there has never been a video from Sandbox or any other channel I can think of that talked about this weapon. Again, people all the time says, like, these are the weapon people are talking about, which means America is something even more crazy that nobody knows. This is just taste of it. They're like, you know what, we're going to use some kind of a sonic style electromagnetic and like combination of all the weapons, which doesn't just disable system, disables people. Where people just grab their head, fall down, and their nose bleeds. That is the account that Cuban soldier is saying happened. Everybody just like collapsed like that. This is X-Files. This is Mulder and Scully suddenly having this white flash and alien appearing, and they basically black out. Yeah, this is X-Files basically.
The outcome was the same. The defenders could not react effectively, even though many of them were trying to. From this point on, the timeline becomes brutally tight. The most dangerous window of the entire operation lasted just about 2 minutes. Once the Chinooks touched down inside the perimeter of Fort Tiuna, a highly trained group of U.S. Special Forces, drawn from elite units such as Delta Force, disembarked and moved with extreme speed and precision into the compound, fully
Delta
aware
Force.
that they had almost no margin for error and that every second counted. These troops were not simply arriving. They were executing a planned and rehearsed sequence of movements designed to isolate the area, secure key locations, and locate Nicolás Maduro and those with him. During these moments, there were flashes of defensive fire from anti-aircraft units, and U.S. helicopters overhead responded in self-defense while also providing cover for the ground teams as they advanced through the compound. One U.S. helicopter did sustain damage from ground fire, yet managed to remain airborne and continue.
The pilot got shot in the leg somehow and still flew, as you do. People stub their toes in car and they have to stop at like next gas stop. This soldier's like, yeah, I just shot in the leg. What? I can fly this.
Continue supporting the mission, a testament to the resilience of both the aircraft and its crew. Even as these engagements unfolded, there was no coordinated or sustained counterattack from within the compound, and no large force emerged to contest the rapid, focused advance of the capture teams. What had been expected to be a protracted and chaotic fight instead compressed into a brief, intense sequence of actions, during which the ground forces made contact, located Maduro and his wife, and escorted them into custody before beginning their withdrawal. Within roughly 1 minute and 40 seconds of landing, the extraction began. Dust and debris filled the air as the first Chinook lifted off, engines straining under fire. About 20 seconds later, the second helicopter followed. Blackhawks continued providing suppressive fire.
Yeah, Chinooks are just landing the way Chinooks do. Those images of like Chinooks barely touching the surface and everybody's just like, we are getting out of the helicopter and Chinook is still flying. That's the level of precision that Chinook has. Two Chinooks and Apache is just like doing hellfire around it. These are the clips. These are not just like vision. You literally have clips. You can see this happening. People are shooting from their phone. You see Apache just raining hellfire. I still can't get over there. Like how insane that looks.
Focusing entirely on keeping the transport helicopters alive long enough to escape the compound. On board were Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, now firmly in U.S. custody. By around 3 in the morning,
Imagine the level of shit that must have happened that Maduro's like, yeah, this is happening. I guess I can't do nothing about it. He just happily do this and just like, I guess he was happy because the level of shit he saw, he's thankful that he didn't sustain any damage.
Fire around Fort Tiuna had largely faded. The operation inside the compound was over almost as quickly as it had begun, and by approximately 4:29 a.m., U.S. aircraft had exited Venezuelan airspace entirely, leaving behind a stunned capital and a military complex that was still standing, but effectively powerless. By daylight, the news was unavoidable. Nicolás Maduro had been captured.
By daylight, everybody's looking at the fuck, what just happened? Americans came and took precedent, and there you go, went back.
Captured and taken out of Venezuela during a foreign military operation and transported to the United States within hours. More than 150 aircraft had been involved. Advanced air defenses had failed. One of the most fortified military compounds in Latin America had been penetrated without being destroyed, and without a prolonged battle. And hovering over all of it is a single, unanswered question. If a weapon like the Discombobulator exists, one capable of disabling both machines and human response without visible destruction, what does that mean for the future of warfare?
I don't think it's one weapon. One weapon can't do all that. I think they're counting that as a series of weapons. They're counting Growler's phantom ability to confuse radars and some kind of a sonic weapon that basically confuses people, and some kind of electromagnetic weapon to destroy like modular things that people have, like any electronic things, right? Basically making so that doesn't work.
Fair. Because the most frightening power isn't the one that destroys everything in its path. It's the one that leaves everything intact and takes away the ability to fight back. Thank you for watching. If you found this reconstruction useful,
well, go to original page link from there, support this channel. And yeah, the point is, yeah, this is so cool, but I also think there'll be a time where this will be called this will get banned or called a war crime. It's never a war crime the first time, so right now it's not. In the future there'll be some Geneva Convention for this shit, because that's how it works. Anything that's like unusual or like something outside of the box, you're like, oh, this is too fucked up, you can't use it. You can't use sonic weapons to like blow people's mind literally. So shit like that would happen. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, there you go. Discombobulator. Who knows what kind of a ridiculous shit US military has? Area 51. That's what it's all about. The level of shit that happens inside, like, that's not aliens. People are aliens. No, it's not aliens. It's much worse. It's US military's top secrets. That's what it is, right? Much worse than any X-Files you can think of. Alright, well, if you like my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.